Welcome to the live. My name is Tandega, your host on Canvas of a Runner. We're running all things live from the roads to the trails to the mountains to the family and our daily lives to running our conversations like the one we're going to have tonight with our special guest that we've been meeting on the running, not tracks, but races. And then we've had to work, we've worked for one company before, so we just didn't know that we'll eventually, after COVID, years later, we would meet on the roads running. So please welcome Matsobane Kekana. He is a social runner. He's done the long distance, the short ones, but we are here to ask him how does he do that and to share with us Sukuti how it started out and yeah, how has it been, our struggles and wins work. So welcome tonight, Matsobane. How are you?
Good evening to you, Tandeka, and yeah, thank you for having me. I'm okay.
You're
I'm okay. I
welcome.
can't complain. I'm good. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you for allowing us Uguti Sibe now on a Sunday evening for time to relax. But we really appreciate. I appreciate it, and I'm sure people that will join in and have questions or listen in will hopefully they will find the conversation fruitful for them as well. So jumping into it, how did your running start, and why did you run? So, like, was there a reason behind, or you were just very an athletic person? How did it all start?
Oh yeah. No, thank you. Thank you. So okay, before I got into running, I'll play soccer socially as well. We used to play
Uh,
five-a-sides, and but 2019, I went to Comrades to support my brother because he had indicated that it was his last comrade. And then I decided that since it was his last comrade, but through an advice of a colleague,
mhm,
who encouraged me to say, you know what, this is big. If your brother is doing his last comrade, you know, please make it a point that you go and support him. So then I went to go support him in Durban. And
mhm,
yeah, so as I was sitting, standing on the sidelines, seeing people passing, and I mean, I started seeing myself doing it. But I could see that it was tough because we were stationed at the polyshot because it was an
mhm,
upright. So I could see the struggles, those who passed when they were still looking good, and those who were, in tears when they got there, and also those who got you know, um, to be on the bailer pass. So I got to see the different emotions. So even for me to decide that I wanna, one day attempt to do it, I knew I probably had an idea as to what I was getting myself into. Yeah. So,
mhm,
but then what I did after coming back, if I recall well, it was only Tuesday. Then I dusted off my techies because I came back on a Monday. Then the Tuesday, five, I think it was around 5 o'clock. I woke up. Then I think I did about five or so, or 10 kilometers. I don't recall. And but the plan was I must do this for probably 21 days. If I could even disclose it to my brother that I was gonna join him. So also, I wanted to make it a habit that I was able to now start running. So I did it for 21 days. And yeah, so then that's how I got into it. Then um, where I'm staying, we had other guys that wanted to start out, and others who had already done the comrades. Yeah, so that's how I started.
okay, that's interesting. Now you've sparked other questions. So you had not supported your brother before on his comrades, or how what was how long had he ran a comrades marathon before you went there to support him?
I,
And
I
why
think
was it
yeah,
his last comrades?
I think he had done about three comrades by then, and the the other thing was that even before then, I think around 2013 or so, sometimes I would go visit him in Pretoria because that's where he stays, and I would join him on some of his runs.
Uh,
So I would say there was already, that background, but comrade, it was one of those things that I probably, because if I recall well, around 2008, um, 2009 rather, yeah, I had a mentor um, who had told me that he had done comrade. So, those conversations that you just have and you're like, maybe probably one day I might. So, but yeah, but my brother
yeah,
had done, I think it was about three comrades and he had said, no, he's going to quit. But yeah, not knowing that he came back
Uzofaka
again.
away.
Yeah, I think maybe that
Oh,
was his
he's
plan.
running again. Is he running
Last
again?
year, we ran together. So it was one of my
Oh,
proudest
that's nice,
moments.
man.
And yeah, so we
Uh,
finished together. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of my running highlights.
that's great, man. So ikhona le yokuthi you can't really quit comrades until you get at a certain goal. Do you know his goals? Maybe if he had shared. Sorry to ask more or about
More on
him
him.
than because it's about you. But just to wrap that one up, he wants to
uh,
get to 10 green
Look, I think
one
because
green
of
badge.
yeah, look, I mean, maybe because of other priorities, that have taken over. Because even before he came back last year, I think the last one that he'd done was 2019. But the other thing is that he's big on doing strength training.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so chances are, I think once his calendar clears up, he's gonna come back.
So we learned about that can jump in anyhow just because of the advantage of strength training.
Training.
If
Yeah,
I may
just
put
being
it that way.
physical. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, just being
okay,
physical. Yeah.
that's interesting to know. So you are part of a disciples running club. Can you tell us
Yes.
more about the club and how did you get in now and what it means and how's the relationship so far? With in connection also ne skindi gang,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's how I know you ngikubuza ama tips and ama information on running and fueling and like really trying
Yes,
half
yes.
marathon, because I spoke to you about it even way before I ran a half marathon. So there's that journey, getting into a club, why and how, or you really did see the need of a community. Maybe you can tell us more on that.
Okay, yeah. So remember when I said that when I started running, where I'm staying, there's a couple of guys that so there's a guy who was already part of the disciples running club. So
Mm-hmm.
when I started running, he was the one who, he would share tips, and but I would also say that he was recruiting aggressively, to say, no, you must come join my club. Because I had indicated to him that I wanted to join. There's another club called Faranani. And then he was like, no, we have a disciples running club. It's based in Pretoria, and you are my neighbor. So, yeah, you must come join us. And that's how I ended up in the club. And
Okay.
yeah, so I joined them officially, yeah, 2019 when I just started. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've been a member of, I don't know any other club. So all in my
Okay.
running, yeah, it's in my short running career. Um, it's just been part of the disciples running club. It's, yeah, we're not really a big club. Um, so there's a joke that goes around that we are 12, and
Oh, the
I've been
12 disciples,
the 12
like
disciples.
people.
And,
Uh-huh.
uh, and last year at the comrades at the expo, when we were taking pictures, we had requested another gentleman to take us pictures. And I don't know why, but he pointed to me as probably being Judas of the 12. So, yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah. But then remember we had COVID, right? And
Yes.
everything, went into standstill. So I also just stopped. Then when everything resumed, that was now 2022. So there's a friend of mine called Bule, and I must note that I met Bule when I was doing my first race in 2019 in Pretoria, and we exchanged numbers, and then we'd meet at races. He'd always keep in touch, find out how I'm doing. Then in 2022, he invited me to say, hey, there's a group of guys, that are gonna have a training program for uh, comrades, and that
Mhm.
is how I was introduced to the Skindy Gang. And yeah, so I think they've really contributed a lot towards the development, my development of, and also how I understand running. Having a
Mhm.
structured program that would guide you from not only running the different runs, the nutrition part, you know, injury prevention, or even the treatment of it. So holistically,
Yes.
they've really helped me a lot. Yeah, so I think, yeah, that there's not really, there's no way that I can talk about running and not really mention them.
And
And
then,
the good thing is, because it's a training crew, you get to interact with people from different labs, you know, as opposed
mhm.
to if I was only running with the members of the disciples. So I get to interact with guys from Fat Cats, Waterfall, Faranani.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so all the different labs that you can think about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah.
Okay. And then, would you also take us through your very first running, be it a full, your first entry, official entry, not a training, a full marathon or the ultra marathon? And because you're speaking a lot on comrades,
Yeah.
when you started running, did you have in mind you want to do e-comrades, or you were just interested in running and you plan that you're gonna progress as you get fitter for longer distances?
Look, well, I don't know if I should say unfortunately or not, but because I'd gone to support my brother, when I started to say now I'm gonna start running, it meant I also had
Mm-hmm.
to stop playing soccer, because I I could see that I'm gonna pick up injuries. So yeah, so they when I started running, the goal was clear. It's comrades. I have to now go for
Comrades.
comrades.
Yo.
Yeah. So 2019, when the Tuesday after the comrades, after
Mm-hmm.
the Sunday, it was clear that I'm preparing for comrades. So
Okay.
yeah, that was how it went down, to say no, I have to do comrade. And yeah, so when I started 2019, I
2019.
mean, yeah, there were a lot of things that I didn't do right, in hindsight, and also benefit of what I know now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's I didn't know about fueling. So
Yeah.
what would happen is that I would get to, I don't know, I think it was Jacaranda or so. I don't know. I don't remember the exact race, but I think I ran it so well, for the first 21 or up until 30 or so. And from then on, it was a walk and run, walk on run, walk and run. And that was painful. I don't want to lie. So yeah, starting out was tough. But the other good thing is that I think, if I recall well, I was doing a lot of strength. Because what I would do is, one weekend I would go join my brother, do a long run with him, and it would be about 25 kilometers to 30. Then the other week I would dedicate it to probably doing a 10-kilometer and then go to boot camp. Uh, yeah, so then the other mistake that I did, if I recall well, 2019, the weekend before Soweto Marathon, I went to Polokwane and that was my first ultra. I don't recall the time, but I did it. Yeah, I did 48. It was from in Polokwane, from Boy to Polokwane. And then the following weekend, I went to go run Soweto Marathon. And so there were a lot of mistakes that I did. When I went to the expo at Soweto, I bought new techies. So, and then I
Did
used them
you?
on the yeah, I used them on the race day. So when I went to go
Yeah.
collect my entry, there was a special for running shoes, the Nike. Then I bought those pair of shoes. Then I wore them first time during the race, and I did a 309 that time. And the good thing that that day I was running with a group of guys. So as we were running, they were giving me, these gummy sweets.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so whenever, yeah, so I just ran with those guys, and then they would pass me the sweets. But I think it was also just part of fueling. Then I would chew, and at other points drink water. And I think they left me around 32 or so. And then that's when now the idea that one day I must do a sub three, started. Uh, yeah, started having the idea that probably I can do it, and also with suggestion from some of the guys around me to say no, but if you have a throw nine, you could probably attempt a sub three.
Okay. So you mentioning I'm a mistake and things you saying a lot of things you did wrong. Uh,
Yeah,
the moment you started saying now I'm preparing for the comrades, you're training, were you doing it alone or with other runners before you got into a club, or even if you were doing it with other people, you never really asked a good team, do you do long distances back to back, or should I get take rest days seriously? And then how was it when you ran your first comrades, the experience during the day, the moment you could, okay, this is what I did wrong, or I am tired now, this is how I'm feeling. Take us through your journey leading to your first
first
comrades.
comrade. Yeah, yeah. So I think with the first comrade, part of the training, or some of the mistakes that I was doing, and I have to now note that Bule, the friend that I told you about, he would suggest that I must do strength, and he would also suggest that after long runs, getting to, and I take an ice bath, and but remember, the first comrade, it we did most of the training during winter because I think it was in August or so. So yeah, would always suggest some of the things that I neglected, because it'd say no, Matsobane, you need to go uh, for massages. And I was like, no, in my mind, it's like, but
No
I've been
need.
running. I've never had to go for massage. And the idea of an ice bath in winter. So, but then what that did, because the benefit was that I was already in a structured program. That
Okay.
it minimized, yes, because the program because it's structured, you do different runs. You do your heel repeats, you have your LSDs, you do your tempo runs. There's also recovery. Um, and what else? There will be long runs, LSDs in the weekend, and so the mistakes was those little things. As much as I was in a structured program, there were other things that I was neglecting, and and then what
Okay.
that did was that I got injured. I think around July. Um, I had it was an injury caused by the hip, and now I had to go see a physio because I'm injured now. Had I gone earlier, I would have prevented that. So
Okay.
now, yeah, I had to now ask Bule to say, hey, give me the numbers of that physio that you had said I must go see. So, and yeah, so it really disturbed my training. But I managed to go. And then what happened is, because I knew that, because even I had those patches, my knee was strapped with those patches that we put.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So, but then, yeah, I mean, I had to now, reduce my target, because part of my training for that year, it was for silver, to say I'm going for silver.
Zisuka.
Yeah, no, no. But I must tell you a story. There was a day where, when we were doing our training, I think we were doing 50 kilometers at Waterfall. And the way I was so tired, I remember telling Pule by then to say, do you think I can really do silver? Because if I'm so tired and then I have to do 90, will I be ready? And he had me speak to one of the coaches, Coach Wongs, and he's like, no, but I mean, this is still part of training. So, but after that injury, I had to now reevaluate, my target, to say I have to now reduce my pace, run at a particular pace range. And, but now, because I was not fully healed, when we got to, I think it's Botha's Hill, the wheels came off. I had to lie on the side of the road. Yeah, I could feel the sharp pain on my knee, and yeah, so that was bad. And so it meant a walk and run, up until another gentleman, came to me, because he could see that I was limping. He came with a block of ice, and he, I wanted to chase him away, but he was like, no, let me help you. Then he put the ice on my hip, and now I was now able to run, walk and run, walk and run, walk and run. And yeah, so I was just happy that I could be able to finish. Uh, yeah, so it was not even about a particular time. But then, yeah, I think with about 3 kilometers or so, I saw a bus, and it was a sub 9 bus. So when I saw, because it was a big group, it was I mean, many people in that bus. And the idea that now I had to make way for them pushed me to say, no, you know what, instead of taking time to move away for this, to make way for the bus, rather let me run. And because towards the end it was a flat area, I was able to finish just before 9 hours. But yeah, it was the best feeling, to say I was able to push, because at some point, yeah, I did, yeah, the pain, yeah, no, it was bad.
It got to you.
Yeah.
So you were pacing yourself with a sub nine pass.
Yeah, towards the end, the last three, I think it was maybe a matter of pride to say, I mean, I can't let these guys pass me. Or the idea that, because remember, if the bus comes, you have to move to the side.
Yes, yes.
It's like people are toy.
And then why are you all the way?
Why are you
So
on? Yeah.
yeah, the
So,
tools that like
yeah, so to go on what's the yeah.
Okay, and now speaking of flat route and or a flat what route? Yes, the
Yes.
flat surface versus the uphill, net downhill. Which
Mhm.
one? Not prefer, but which one do you take advance the most on? And um, for someone unfit-ish, is the flat route more easier than the down route? I just want to hear from your side because I've had a lot and conversations around that, and I have my differences. I don't know if it's because it's me now. Me, I have my own view of it, but from your side, flat versus down versus uphill, which one it's more advantageous for someone who's just running for fun, not chasing time, versus for someone who's chasing time like yourself, not chasing time, but you have a target.
Look, I think climbing is hard, you know.
Mhm.
Even if you were to say, can you please climb that tree? It's gonna take you time, as opposed to if you were to say perform, a particular activity on a flat surface. So climbing is always hard. Uh, so that's why if you check, even with some of the races, people will want to look at the elevation. You know,
Okay,
the
okay.
higher the elevation, the more people want to think twice to say probably let's. You don't want to use it as a race to go do your chase your PB, but maybe use it as part of your training. Well, that's what I've noticed ever since I've started running. That but climbing is hard.
For you as well,
Uh,
on your now I'm
yeah, look
asking on your
for
personal
for yeah, look, it's hard for me as well. But part of when I train, I also train to prepare my body to climb.
okay.
Because I think most of these things are also mental. If you get scared, regardless of how prepared you are, you're gonna not do well. So when I train, I try to prepare for the hills as well.
Okay. Also, though the reason I'm asking, I've
Hmm.
had a number of people saying that a flat route is as hard as climbing because of the muscles you use, but it's the
Yeah.
same muscle group that you use, and sometimes all of it, because you have to just keep yourself strong until you are finished with that flat route. So now it begs the
Yeah.
question on how is it more difficult, or how is it the same level difficult as climbing? Because I'm on my side, climbing, no, it's very
No.
very hard.
Look, I think yeah. Look, probably because of the if you are used to a flat area, you over time you won't really see it being difficult. Same way, if probably you were to if you grew up in a hilly area, um yeah, so it will always just depend on how you train. And that's why sometimes they will advocate that you must train at different routes. Don't run the same route. Have variety. Even with your runs, have variety. But also with the routes, make sure that you change. Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right. So back to
Mhm.
your full versus ultra, the marathons. Which one do you prefer? Or
Mhm.
nje uzithandela the ultra distances, and maybe
Yo.
why?
Yeah, look, I mean, ultra is very long. So I'd probably say that uh, if I had not started running thinking of comrades, um, then I'll probably say marathon because it's shorter, right? even though it's more painful because you're probably pushing at a higher speed. But I would say a marathon, yeah, it's much better than spending almost the whole day running. So I would say I prefer a marathon.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that's interesting to know. So now on the balancing running and family,
Yeah,
um, how do you balance training with your family life and your own personal, like your rest, your work, your 9 to 5, and other
right.
things that you do with other people? And then
Yeah.
what are the traits of like balance kanjani?
Look, yeah, it's a bit difficult, but then I mean, like, because the people that I train with in Midrand, the Midrand Skindi family, they normally start their runs, at 4:30. So that means you need to probably be up by 4 a.m. and
Yeah.
so that you can do your runs and still go, back to your 9 to 5. And in the afternoons is attending to the kids, the homeworks, and any other extramural activities for them. So what I found is that I need to make sure that I run in the morning, because if I don't do that, chances are in the afternoon I won't. It won't happen. So and and the other thing is the there are other activities, family activities that one needs to attend to on weekends. Um, so if there's a family event, then that might mean that I need to skip a run. So that's basically how I try to balance everything, to say that uh, if I have to travel, then I won't run. Um, yeah, so that's how I try to balance things, to say that if I'm traveling, then there won't be a run. And yeah, because the moment you let running take over everything, then there's no balance. So you always try to strike a balance. You know, it
Yeah.
won't always be like this. Every now and then it will tilt, and then you try to bring it back to a 50-50, but it's not always 50-50. Yeah. So, but what I've seen is that it's easy for me. If there's an event that I need to attend to, then I'll skip a run. Because
Okay.
yeah, because the other thing is that I think they would say it can take you about 2 or 3 weeks, before you lose the fitness. So if you had to skip 3 days or so, you're not really losing out. Actually, it benefits the body more, because you're giving yourself a bit of extra recovery. So I don't feel bad about that. So that's the other thing. If I have to skip a run because of um, other priorities, be it work or whatever, I immediately accept and attend to that, so that I'm fully present for that activity.
Okay. Do you ever run with your family? Any of your family members, your partner, your kids, your cousins? Are
Uh,
they keen on joining you training days or race days?
yeah, look, we I do sometimes walk with my wife, but I think around 2022, or when I just started running, yeah, we tried to run together, and it didn't end well. So then we agreed that what, because I think she knew better than me, to say I have a different program, so I'll listen to the coaches from Skindi, and then you be your own coach. So but I do take walks with her sometimes. Yeah, but like I said, when I started out, it was mostly with my brother on the long runs, where you
Okay.
share. Yeah.
Okay. I know, I can understand where she's coming from, your wife with not. There's always some clashes between, well, not always, some half, I would say half of the population, they do well as teamwork, husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend, but the other half, I it's always war, or it doesn't end well at the end. That's
Yeah,
your
no,
take.
yeah.
And then, what lessons from running, like it, discipline, patience, or resilience, that you apply now on your family or and personal life?
Uh, yeah, look, I mean, I sometimes think that with everything is linked, with running and life in general. Because, for example, with running, you know that you need to be um, committed to respecting a program. And that would mean that, you need to be at a training by a particular time. So you always try to apply the same values, even in my family, even at work, to say that if I have to do something, I need to see it through that I complete it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so yeah, but for those you need discipline because there are days where it's hard, but you need to show up. You don't just shy away because of how you feel. You still show up. So I would say that's where probably the running mentality does also help. But remember, I would also say that even before running, these are some of the values that I've always tried to have, and I apply them even when I got into running.
Okay.
And the other thing is that if you're not disciplined, you're gonna get hurt. You'll always be, yeah, with running, it's easy for you to get hurt. If because even if you have a program, but you're not following it through, you're not respecting it, it might end in tears. Yes, you might get away with it once or twice, but in the long run, it will catch up with you that you have not really been respecting me.
Okay. Um, what keeps you motivated when training is hard or when you just don't feel like doing it? So it might sound repetitive, but
Yeah,
and I know you are a disciplined person, but you're still a human being at the end of the day.
every day. Yeah. Look, I mean, there are times where you really don't feel like doing it. But like I said, and I think maybe because I'm part of a training crew, it helps you to be accountable. Uh,
Okay.
for example, because we start early, even if I don't feel like it, as one of the reasons or examples, I need to wake up because if we run as a crew, there's also, beside pushing one another, there's also that element of security to say the more numbers we have on the road, the better uh, the security for all of us. So yeah, so it's you try not to really look at the feelings because if you look at the feelings, sometimes you'll be happy. You know that song, yeah, 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 Trumpis. You now like operating like a robot. So you don't want to be a robot. You want to make sure that you you follow the program, unless you're injured.
Okay. Okay. I see there's a leg on my side as well.
Okay.
It is Zulu. There's a storm here, so I'm not sure if you're still hearing me clearly and
I can hear you
maybe the
clearly.
footage is just
No, I can still hear.
fine.
Yeah, now
Okay.
it's here. Yeah.
So on my screening buyong freeze la, so I'm not too sure. Don't be alarmed if I don't respond in time or I'll sound like manje sengithule ngiphelele line i-network.
No, I know.
uh, all right. So how do you define holistic fitness, mind, body, and lifestyle in your own terms? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the the most important thing is number one, probably having fun with whatever that I'm doing, and also, so there's an element of, you know what, there has to be a balance in everything that I do. I firstly have to um, have peace, you know, within me,
Yes.
and then also, you know, try to spread it around the people that I'm with, and also the environment in general. And yeah, so be it in running, um, at work, you know, whoever that I'm interacting with, I always have to ground myself, you know, to say that uh, I want peace.
You don't want
Yeah.
problems.
No, it doesn't mean problems won't be there. Problems will be there, but when we solve them, then there will be peace.
Yeah,
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 so it doesn't mean we shy away from problems. No, problems will always be there, and they sometimes give us an opportunity to reflect, to say, oh, okay, probably we add here and there, and how do we correct, and then we move forward. And I think also just being positive, eh? So I mean, with every incident, to say, if it didn't go my way, what was it teaching me? You know, as much we don't really just dwell on, hey, probably I missed my target, but to say, what positives could you take from it? As an example, did you have a good training block? Because you can't just judge yourself based on, you know, the race day, to say I'm bad or not, but you always try to look at what worked. And if you're ill disciplined, then those are the areas that you need to now go and correct, to say, I know what caused this. But I always try to be positive. Uh, yeah, so that's the other thing, to say, oh, okay, what is this teaching me?
yeah.
What can I learn from this incident? Yeah.
Okay, okay. And then, if you had all the means, what three key things would you improve in the running space and fitness, like South Africa or nje, in the running teams generally?
Ash, look, um I think number one, I mean, if most people could probably um, go into, you know, structured programs, you know, number one, and also to say, we this is a sport, you know, and it's meant to connect us, you know. How can we
Yes, yes.
better connect as people? uh that's number two, ne? And then, okay, number three, yeah, I mean, if we could find ways of how do we also now go back and develop, you know, from the grassroots, um, because there's a lot of talent there, and sport does benefit, you know, does, especially for the young ones, if we could find ways of developing them, you know, having more coaches, yeah, because I think that would also help our society in general, for the young ones, because like now with the scourge of drugs, babona hore batho ba bantši ba tsuba
Yes.
di-drugs, bana ba tsuba di-drugs.
Mm.
So probably sport running could be one of those, you know, to help.
Okay. And then, in terms of sponsorship or assisting in that, how would you help aid that, because sometimes people, they don't know what they don't know. It could be finance in terms of getting the right running gear, the right nutrition, uh, and getting out there on the internet or meeting people and networking and getting to ama-race ukuze umuntu azi ukuthi no, I actually didn't know ukuthi you don't just run nje. There's actually programs, there's gear, there is training with other teams, there's even registration to belong to a club. Yes, you can do it individually, but if you want to go further or more in a communal way, you need community. So
Mm.
to reach those who are not in the cities, and like you're saying ukuthi the kids who are out there abanawo amafoni to get in there, abanye banawo, yes, but how would you spread that, or and if ivangeli lokuthi people must move, even in soccer in general, not only running, but to get people active, especially the young ones.
Look, yeah, it's I mean,
It's a tough
there's
one.
it's a tough one, but I mean, there's already a benefit, you know. For I think we are designed to the legs are designed for us to move, and but if we're to probably have more coaches, you know, um, at the grassroots, because coaches, you know, they will guide you to say, this is wrong, and also have them being certified, because what I've also learned is that, yeah, we've given people, you know, this title to say they're coaches, but yeah, do they have the theoretical knowledge to say to understand why they're doing certain things?
Mm,
Uh, yeah, so I think we need to have a lot of guys um, certified, you know, be it soccer or you know, so that they can guide better and move with the times as well, because technology is also improving, the science is improving, you know. Mhm.
and then looking back ngesikhathi uqala, but you said you had your brother, and you
Yeah,
always looked, you had a bit of knowledge here in running. So a terminology, I'm looking for a terminology in running, like boma PB, ama acronyms,
yes.
your PR,
Um,
your buzz, uni buzz, marketing, your people, they talk of sub this, sub that.
Not bad.
Sometimes it
Yes.
took me a while, mangenithi, kunamabhasi, what's going on? EPB in Leo, or to taper out. So in knowledge enjalo, theory kanjalo, what would you do, or how would you team up with other people, knowing now the way you got into running? For me, I wish I had a dictionary out there. yokusho ukuthi when someone says this means that. So, but from your side, knowing what you know now, umuntu ongazi
Mm.
lutho getting into running, how would you advise them, or how do you think you wish things were done for you, or a library when someone gets in there?
Look, I think there's not really you know, a one size approach to how people should start, but I would say when you start out, you know, don't put yourself under any pressure, you know. Make sure that you enjoy this thing, you know. Don't look at, yes, you can look at Tandega as an inspiration, but don't look ukuthi, you know, hey mara nkashiya Tandega. No, that's not how it should be. It should be your own journey. Or okay, why am I doing this? Because I think the number one benefit, especially for the social runners, it's the health benefits to say.
Yeah, yes.
Um, yeah, so I think probably your why, you know, should guide you, but it should never be I I I I, I want to run faster than Tandega, because if Tandega is your main reason why, okay, now Tandega is getting more faster, you'll be more frustrated. Or if Tandeka quits running, then what's going to motivate you? So the primary reason, whatever it should be your why, right? And once you have that, take it easy, because the body has to develop gradually. I think, I mean, you look at it, even with it takes us 12 years to complete matric. So
Yeah.
even with running, you need to pace yourself well, give the body chance to develop. And I would also say strength. Don't neglect strength. Uh, and you must try to enjoy it. Um, yeah, and be kind, eh? Be kind to
Yeah, exactly.
yourself, the people that you are running with. Yeah, just have respect and have fun. Most importantly, you should have fun. If you're not enjoying it, then probably you need to look for another sport. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because
you're
I
strong on
eh,
that because you've said that before. The moment you're not enjoying it,
it
so
will hurt.
can't
Yeah. Yeah, it
look
will hurt. Yeah, it will hurt.
elsewhere.
Yeah, it will hurt. Yeah, look for something. Try next door, maybe rugby or because at the end it's there should be you having fun in doing it, and the health benefits that comes, you will automatically come. But if now you're stressed because Tandeka ran faster than me, then it's becoming toxic, and it's now poisonous, and unfortunately you are the one who's giving yourself that poison. Yeah.
Mm, okay, okay, we're nearing an end. So,
Yes.
looking back, which running achievement are you mostly proud of?
Yeah, look, I know we have to look at the at the PBs. Yeah, so I would say the Sanlam Marathon last year, where I did a 2:48. The Comrades last year, I think it was 7:15. No, for
Okay.
both marathon and ultra. But I must also say that for this year's Comrade, as much as I didn't really get a PB, the challenges that I faced, it made me want to say, to appreciate, the being able to finish the the race. Yeah, so I would say the marathon PB and then the Comrades PB. But for this year, because it was tough, it also ranks up there. Yeah, it also ranks up there.
So, are you planning to run next year, 2026? The date is iphumile. Abantu sebeqalile ukutraina saying that next year in 9 or 8 months to go.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm planning to go back again, and yeah, Modimo a ratile, then we'll line up again. So yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. Do you already have a target in mind, or you just wanna beat last year's target? Not, you don't have to mention what target it is, but
Again, yeah,
have do you have one in mind?
yeah, probably it's to do better than the 7:15 that I got last year. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, so that probably would be there, because you always want to do better um, than what you did Mabane.
Mm. So, what advice would you give anyone striving to balance life, work, and family, and fitness?
No. Yeah, look, there's not really. I would say the priority will always change. If you have a work deadline, then that means running has to take,
Yes.
play, yeah, a lesser priority. And where there's family events,
Mhm.
you rather skip a run and then go attend, but also communicate, with those around you as to what is happening within your running space, so that there's balance. Because if you keep quiet, then sometimes where, let's say you have to go for a race, but you didn't communicate it back to your family to say that I've already planned for this race, can I skip this particular event? It
Yeah.
might seem that, yeah, you are being rude or you are prioritizing running. So you need to communicate, because the priorities will always change. Today it's running, tomorrow it's family, it's work, studies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. So last
yeah,
week, I had a previous guest that I had
okay.
asked them a random question, and then I asked them to leave a random question for the following guest. So he had left, or the guest had left, a question. If you
Mhm.
can see yourself running, if you can see yourself in 5 years' time, where would you be? Would that be where you want to be, or there anything? Are there things you need to change to get there? I can
Sure.
repeat myself.
Yeah,
Or
please repeat. Yeah, no. Ooh.
if you can see yourself in 5 years' time,
Mhm.
where would you be? Would that be where you want to be, or are there things you would need to change to get there?
Sure.
So that's like in 2020, 2030.
Yeah, yeah, but is it what specific? Is it anything specific or in general?
It's not, oh, you can make it specific. It's just a random question to close off. So it
In
be
terms
in
of,
finance or your personal life, your goals and whatever. Yeah. So it's up to you.
yeah, look, I think I would probably just say try to answer it from a running perspective, to say that, yeah, I'm hoping that I'll still be running, and because I'm doing it for the longevity. I'm not for the short term gains or achievements, but it's more from how do I balance everything with life. So I'm hoping I'll still be able to do what I'm doing. And in as far as in 5 years' time, I don't know if I would have already been on 10 race, because I'm planning to stop when I get to 10. So probably, yeah, I'll be thinking a lot, if even 5 years' time, to say, hey, do I want to go over 10 or stop?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then would you please also leave a question for our next guest? Um,
Mm,
any question?
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, no, it's a, um, yo, I'll, yo, yeah, it's a tough one. But, but it, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm used to answering questions, so now if I have to formulate one, uh,
It doesn't have to be serious, or it can
serious,
be
yeah.
jokingly. Don't pressure yourself as well.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of question that I got is already putting me on the spot now. So I have to say, what kind of question would I come up with?
Mm,
Uh, yeah, but I would say probably what are they reading currently, if they're into reading,
ready.
or if they are into series, what are they watching? Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's nice. That's
Yeah.
a different question that I've ever gotten. That's interesting. Thank you for that. Simple enough, but yeah, you can learn a lot from even asking simple questions from other
Yeah.
people.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank you for sharing your insights and your journey. Thank you for your time, sharing your hour with us. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, we've come to an end. And yeah, hopefully in the future we'll have part two. So Gijime 10, or you've done this and that. But yeah, man, thank you.
No, 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 no. Yeah, no. Ra leboha, no. Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, I really feel honored, and yeah, I don't really take it lightly. The opportunity you have given me. Ra leboha.
Okay, thank you. Oh, wait. Now that you do that, there
Yes,
is a term, Om Shanti Om. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. What does it mean to
yes.
you, and why or when did you start using it?
Uh, yeah. So it means peace. Within me, and you know, peace. How do I effect it on you, and also the environment that I'm operating in. So yeah, but it's it started coming through when there was a period where I was so I don't know what to call it, that period in my life where I was like, I need to start practicing peace within myself,
Okay, okay.
peace.
Like
Yeah,
meditation.
yeah,
Oh,
sort of a mantra to say, and then I came up with that to say Om Shanti Om. It's a Buddhist word. So basically, Shanti means peace. So then they say Om Shanti Om. It means peace in me, peace in others, and with um, with the environment. But for me, I always tie it to both
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes, yeah, yeah. So
All right.
yeah, so it's another way of saying it. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Interesting to know. Um, Om, Om
Om
Shanti Om.
Shanti Om. Yes, Om Shanti Om.
I have
Yes.
a great weekend. Thank you again. So
No,
I'll be
no,
ending the
Siabo.
live.
No,
So,
Raleigh was this.
all right.
Bye.
Bye.
Cause nobody do it like you be taking your time. Just talk to me, baby, tell me all the thoughts on your mind. Ain't shy, saying lies, saying lies. Keep the lights on in the daylight. Without you by my side, then it ain't right.
Look, can't get right, I'll do it for life. I'ma knock it out.